Sondra from Midwest Charm and Sylvia from Backyard Brushes have challenged me to this amazing color challenge that you are about to see today. We got together and we spun 3 times. My first spin was metal and gray. The second spin was metal and white. And in my third spin, I spun ceramic and orange. And these are the 3 materials and the 3 colors that we are all required to use in our projects today. For my first project, I have this metal planter pocket that I guess could be reversible. It doesn't have like a flat edge, and I really liked the shape of it. It is something I picked up for $2.99 at the Goodwill, the regular Goodwill, probably 6 months ago or so. And I'm going to start by painting this one in white. I am going out of order here because I will be very honest, the gray and metal was the one that was so difficult for me. So we're saving that one for the end. I'm going to be using this paint inlay on my white metal planter pocket. And this is Delft Traditions in blue. First thing I want to do before anything else is just to cut out exactly what I need and nothing, and take the rest out. I like that there's the grid lines there because it gets you a little bit more of an accurate cut when you are doing something that's straight across. So what I'll probably do is do the front half, let it dry, and then do the back half. What are we going to need for this part? Here, 2, there. Okay, so now I'm going to mist my inlay. I'm actually going to mist my piece a little bit. Sometimes with the DIY paint, it's a little easier to get that second coat on if you mist it slightly first. And I'm going to give myself a pretty healthy coat of this white paint. This is actually vintage linen mixed with white Swan. It's whatever I had left of those colors. All right, give myself one more little mist. Now we're going to take it and carefully lay it down. I am going to dampen my rag a little bit and kind of help press it into the paint. It's been about 45 minutes, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mist the top of that paint inlay paper. Dab it up a little bit. And then get ready for the reveal. My favorite part. If you feel like there's any kind of resistance, I would just go back, spray some more water, and then start again. There we go. And there we go. It's not perfect. You see there are pieces missing? That's okay. That's the point. We want it to look a little bit distressed, a little aged. I really like it. Now I gotta let this dry. We have to seal it, flip it over, do it all again. I sealed this with a polyacrylic sealer. I use Big Top as my sealer for this project, and project 1 was done. Super excited to be taking my reveal photos outside for the first time in months. For my second project, I have this ceramic bowl that actually was part of a set that we have in our kitchen, and this one just happened to chip. My husband, I love him. He does the dishes all the time, but he's not the best at loading the dishwasher in a protective manner. So this one was a casualty, and I'm gonna figure out a way to cover up that chip before I get working on my painted project here. I decided to use the sunflower mold by IOD, and I'm going to be casting it and then using just a part of it to kind of cup it over the bowl on that part where that chip is, but also to embellish part of the side of the bowl as well. As I'm arranging this casting on to the bowl, I do decide to take off some of the petals on the bottom just so that the bowl will continue to lay flat the way it is now. And I will add some of them back in after I have it positioned and part of it glued onto my bowl. I'm going to be using some Titebond Quick and Thick, and I'm going to be putting some of it onto the casting, but then making sure that I use my fingers to spread it all the way out to the edges of each of those petals. This way I know that it is fully adhered to the bowl as I lay it onto the piece, as well as wrapping it around into the bowl where that chip is. Once I had that first part all the way glued onto the bowl, I grabbed the other petals that I had left over, and I'm positioning them around just so that they meet the base of the bowl. I'm not planning on adding all of them, just enough to have it look like they go all the way down right to the base of the bowl. And as you can see, this is not an easy process with this bowl. I'm trying to add the Titebond Quick and Thick as I'm holding the bowl in one hand, trying to stabilize it, but it did not work too well for me. I used a polyacrylic sealer while the casting was still wet, just to ensure that it would not crack overnight. So I covered the entire piece with a very thin coat. I did this very lightly because I don't want to mess with the details that are on the casting. Here is my bowl. It's been sitting out for about I would say a half hour. It's definitely not dry yet. I put a polyacrylic sealer on it, on the clay, just so it wouldn't crack. And now what I'm going to do, let me mix up my paint. This is Coffee Bean by Dixie Belle. And I'm going to be mixing it with a texturizer that I have. So I have never used salt wash, I've never gotten it before. I would assume this is, when I bought this, the idea was to do a similar effect. So this is something I just found on Amazon, I believe, and I'm going to use it to texturize the paint. I've used this before the same way that others have used salt wash. It's worked for me. I like it. I've also used baking soda, so I will say don't feel the need to go run out and get something because I think baking soda pretty much does the same thing. And then I'm going to get my chip brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this as kind of our base coat on the bowl. I'm using the chalk paint and the texturizer because I want it to adhere better. You can see how glossy that piece is. I don't want it to come off. So that's why I'm using that. So I would have kept the blue, except when I went to go put on the clay, the casting, it was the glue and just stuff got everywhere. And when I tried to clean it off, it didn't look as vibrant and glossy everywhere. So I decided to just go ahead and paint the whole thing. It looks a little bit more finished that way too. Here's where the fun begins. I'm going to be using a variety of colors by DIY. These are all clay-based paints, and the reason I like them is it really allows you to blend and mix the colors together, which is what I'm going for the sunflower. I'm starting by painting all of the petals in Queen Bee by DIY. Now I will be blending the Summer Crush and Queen Bee in this project. I am not waiting for that Queen Bee to dry on the petals before I come in with the Summer Crush. I'm just wetting it a little bit to make it a little bit more watery, translucent. And I'm going to go right around that inner circle within the sunflower. It doesn't look perfect yet, but I mean, I don't know if it ever looks perfect, but really what I'm trying to do is blend those colors out. And as you can see, I ended up finding an image on Google of a sunflower to try to see if I could replicate the coloring in that sunflower on my project. I decided to add some little black dress to the middle of the flower to kind of create that darker effect that you see in the middle of the sunflower in the picture. And it also allows me to create that darker orange and blend it in as my chocolate paint or the coffee bean paint has already dried and sealed. I let this dry overnight and came back the next day and used some clear wax all over that flower. And then I came back before I let the clear wax set. I did wipe it back a bit, but before I let it set, and I used some dark wax to bring out the details in that casting. This is by far my favorite project for this video and probably my favorite project from this week. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, I have this candle holder. It is made of metal. And I got this at the thrift store. It was on one of the half off days. It was $3.93, half off, so about $2. Let's see. A little over 15 inches. I mean, that's pretty tall. The color that I have to use is gray. Now, it doesn't have to be a paint, but my brain just kind of automatically goes to that. And so I've decided that this one will get painted in Skeleton Key by DIY. I even asked Sondra and Sylvia, and they both agreed that that could count as a gray. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start by rubbing it on. We're going to give it probably 2 coats. One of my challenges with this project was the thought of painting gray onto metal. As I said, I know it doesn't have to be paint, but that's where my brain goes because painting is probably my favorite part of crafting. And so I couldn't figure out what I could do with metal and gray to make it work. After painting this with 2 coats of Skeleton Key, letting it dry, and even sealing it, I was not a fan of how it looked. And I was ready to just scrap this entire project and start over with something different. But as I've said recently on quite a few of my videos, I am trying to finish my projects and not leave half-done projects all over my craft room. So what I ended up doing was coming back and dry brushing on some Apothecary by DIY. I don't think I have a video of that, but after that dried, I will show you what I did with some white paint to give it a new or different effect. I mixed up some of the leftovers, the very, very leftovers of that white paint that I used in the first project today. And now what I'm gonna do is after I get it nice and like milky paint, like very, very like wet and easily kind of drippy, I am going to take that paint and I am going to press it on the top of the candle and allow it to run down. As you can see, it's running, but it's not running a lot. I'm gonna continue this for a few pats, I guess, around my candle, and then I'm going to come back and I'm gonna use my mister to allow it to run down further. Once I had this dripped to my liking, I set it aside to dry, sealed it with some Rust-Oleum clear matte sealer, and now I'm coming back and bringing back the gray that was the part of this project to begin with. I'm using some pewter rub and buff and rubbing it onto my project to give it that little extra effect and bring out those details that I loved so much about this piece to begin with. I had so much fun collaborating with you, Sylvia and Sondra. It has been a blast of a few weeks of texts and just, I don't know, it's just so fun to get to know all of these amazing creators that I get to do these collabs with. Please remember, you are going to check out their channels too, because I can't wait to see what they created, and I'm sure you can't either. Head on over to my description box to get their links to their channels.